how to properly sell shoutouts and make money with it. If you're struggling to sell shoutouts, if you want to learn how it's really done, in this video, we're going to go ahead and expose that. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. If you're new here, you don't know who I am, my name is Anthony. I actually run a 1 million follower network on Instagram, and I also run an Instagram marketing agency. I make videos like this to help you take your account from 0 to hero, show you how to grow, how to monetize, and everything else in between. So if you're trying to do any of that, make sure you go ahead and hit that little subscribe button down below. It's red. It says subscribe. All you gotta do is hit it, and then you get notifications every time I post. To make sure you get that notification, make sure you hit the notification bell. With that said, let's get into this video. Now, the number one reason that people can't make money on Instagram, or in this case, can't make money through selling shoutouts, is because they play Instagram as a defensive game, when in fact, Instagram is not a defensive game at all, and you should be going on the offense. See, most of you guys are just going ahead and posting content with no strategy, and then sit on your ass and wait for a brand to DM you while you go on the phone and complain about algorithm and how nothing's working and that you must be shadow banned. If you're doing that, I can tell you, you are on the downhill path to failing, okay? That is the quickest way to lose on Instagram. That is the quickest way to make no money and to just have your whole Instagram completely flop. You need to go ahead and treat Instagram and treat selling shoutouts and growing it as offense rather than sitting there and treating it as defense and waiting for brands to come to you. That is how you get nowhere fast. You have to be on the attack. Let's say you have an account for fashion and you know you have a loyal fan base. You know you've built the connections. You know that you could actually bring real value, real traffic, and real customers to an online fashion store. Then go out there and message the brands. Go out there and message 100 of them. Go out there and message 200 of them. Instead, you're just sitting there and you're waiting, posting content with no strategy, complaining about the algorithm. Go out there and message instead of freaking watching Netflix, instead of being on your break at work and doing nothing, instead of just sitting on the toilet and just sitting there. Get out that phone and start cracking out messages. Write up a script to sell the shout out. Why is someone gonna buy this shout out from you? What can they expect? What is your audience? Where are they from? What are their ages? Get all of that into a script and send that out to as many brands as possible. I tell you what, you send that out to 100 brands, somebody's gonna say yeah. And you could easily send out that 100 messages per day. So let's say you're charging $50 per shout out and you send 100 messages per day. And let's say you only get one brand to say yes. Out of 100 messages, you only get one. You are making $50 a day. Now, how come you're not doing that now? Okay, maybe a lack of work ethic, maybe you just didn't know. Anyways, now you know, so now you have to start doing that. Otherwise, you can just sit there and you can just wait, but you know what? You're lazy and you're not gonna get anywhere fast, and nobody wants to work with a lazy person. Unless if you're huge, like you have, 300,000-400,000 followers plus, you're not gonna have brands coming to you on autopilot every day. You're gonna have to go ahead and build this up and work for it and build up a portfolio. I always laugh when people are like, I wanna sell shoutouts to big brands. I'm like, well, how many shoutouts have you done? And they're like 10. I'm like, 10's not enough. Build up a portfolio. Each and every single company you do work for, make sure you go ahead and you document that work. Make sure you do a good job. Get a testimonial from that company, and the next brand that messages you, or the next brand you message, because that's what you should be doing, getting out there and working, you're gonna have a portfolio that you can show them, and there's testimonials in there, and you're gonna take your conversion rates from, let's just say it's 1% to 3-4%, okay? People are gonna sign with you much easier because you've done past work and you've done a lot of it. Selling shoutouts is very easy if you go on the attack and if you go out of your way to DM them. Otherwise, you just sit there and you're not making anything. Now you need to prep your back end strategy. So if you DM a brand, or if you've ever done this in the past, if you have ever went ahead and landed a shout out deal, and let's say it was a shout out deal for $50, and then the whole business relationship ended at that $50 shout out, you have left hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on the table. You need to create a value ladder. What is a value ladder? A value ladder is something that you're providing more value, and the more value you provide, the higher the cost goes up. So for $50, let's say you're on your value ladder here. For $50, you do a shout out. Now maybe for 100, you do a shout out plus a story shout out. Now maybe for 150, you're doing a shout out plus a story shout out plus whatever else you're doing. And then maybe up here, you're signing a $500 per month contract to promote the brand one time per week. That is your value ladder. If you simply just have a $20 shout out rate or a $50 shout out rate, you don't really know what you're doing. You have to build out this value ladder. You have to build this out where you have your start of your ladder is your cheapest product that's like almost no barrier to entry, and it goes up this ladder that people can buy. So what you want want to do is work this customer, work this brand through your value ladder. So they start with a shout out, then they get another shout out with a story shout out, then they're signing a contract with you, then they're maybe getting, you know, more distribution from other pages you run, and you are working them up your value ladder, turning them from $50 here to $50 here, $100 here, $200 here, $500 here, $5,000 here. Does that make sense? So build that value ladder and walk that customer up as many value ladder steps as you can. Now, obviously, this shouldn't have to be stated. As your price increases, the work and value you provide also increases. You should not be selling a service that is not worth what you're charging for it. So make sure you have all that set. Make sure you're gonna have happy customers, okay? Happy customers equals good testimonials equals easier to land more customers. So guys, I hope you took a ton of value out of this video. If you did, make sure you go ahead and drop it a like. Make sure you leave your comments and your thoughts below. Now, if you guys wanna learn stuff, more advanced stuff like this value ladder building stuff and how to actually grow on Instagram, how to monetize Instagram into a full-time business for yourself, just like I have and just like tons of my students have, I will leave the free training linked below in the description. On this free training, I expose everything. So if you want to actually learn and put out your best effort, make sure you go ahead and check that out. With all that said, guys, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, keep grinding, keep hustling, and I'll see you all on the next one.